These are a really unique and remarkable sight. They were quite busy when we visited, but this didn't detract from the experience too much. The Omarama clay cliffs are a great sight to see just outside of Lake Pukaki. I visited the other day and was amazed at cool they were, so in this blog, I will give you all the information you need to visit them for yourself. As we passed Lake Pukaki, we had already stopped at so many amazing places that time had slipped away from us. However, soon after deciding we really need to get a move on, we passed the sign for the Omarama clay cliffs. While on our New Zealand road trip from Lake Tekapo back to Queenstown, we made an effort to stop at as many places as we had time for. The Omarama clay cliffs are located only 10 kilometers 2 miles from the town of Omarama on South Highway 8. The turnoff to the Omarama clay cliffs is just north of Omarama, heading towards Lake Pukaki and Mount Cook National Park, and is called Quailburn Road. The clay cliffs are made from many layers of gravel and silt and were formed by rivers that flowed from large, ancient glaciers in the area. We hadn't heard of the Omarama clay cliffs and as such almost didn't bother turning back to visit them. However, as we drove further away from the turnoff, that hunger for adventure took over and we immediately turned the car around and headed for the turnoff. Once you turn onto Henburn Road, you will be driving on an unsealed gravel road. The road is in good enough condition for all vehicles, but other cars driving in the other direction can flick rocks up, so it's important to drive slow. From the turnoff on South Highway 8, the clay cliffs are a 10 kilometers 2 miles drive that takes around 30 minutes. Being clay, the cliffs are more easily subject to erosion. This erosion has formed tall pinnacles that tower some 30 meters into the air and have made the site a spectacular place to visit. Visiting the Omarama clay cliffs is not free, however, it's not expensive either. At the last turn off, there is a large sign that dictates the price depending on your vehicle. When we visited, it was $5 for a car and $15 for a bus. Payment is made via an honesty box before you pass a small gate. Once you reach the Omarama clay cliffs, there is a short path that leads up to them. At the end of this path, you can then venture around as you please. There is actually a small opening near the path that leads you to a large open area where the cliffs completely surround you. I really suggest making it to this part and doing some extra exploring. Other than enjoying their beauty, there isn't much else to do at the Omarama clay cliffs. There is a small river called the Ahuri River that passes right by the cliffs and some other farm animals nearby. In my honest opinion, a visit to the Omarama clay cliffs is a great place to stop and well worth the short detour. I was amazed I hadn't heard of them before, and on my visit, we were the only people there. We personally love visiting places that aren't overcrowded with people, and the clay cliffs were just that. The Omarama clay cliffs, a great of the beaten track experience in New Zealand that is truly unique. It is important to note that Henburn Road is a gravel road, so you remember to drive slow. There will be a sign down that road that says Omarama clay cliffs and a place to park. Be sure to leave the gate as you found it. As I mentioned, this spot is really cool for photos. Don't forget to look up at the pinnacles in between and out to the Ahuri River while you're taking photos. Of course, the best time would in the morning when the light is nice and soft, but the cliffs are fun to explore any time of the day. There is a track that goes up to and among the cliffs. You can climb over them and see the layers up close. The ground is rocky and in some places a bit loose, so you'll want to take extra care while walking around. I highly suggest wearing good shoes or at least not sandals so you don't slip. The clay cliffs make for a great stop on a South Island road trip and the perfect opportunity to get off the beaten track. It is situated about an hour and a half from Lake Tekapo and Mount Cook area, less than 2 hours north of Wanaka and right before the turnoff point heading south to get to. The clay cliffs are a geological wonder, formed millions of years ago from layers of silt and gravel deposited by ancient lakes and rivers. These layers were then uplifted and tilted by an active fault and subsequently eroded, giving them their dramatic appearance. Kids and adults love exploring. These are a really unique and remarkable sight. You see them across the river valley when traveling down the main highway, and they are worth making a detour to see. They were quite busy when we visited, but this didn't detract from the experience too much. If you're in Tekapo, there are a handful of things you can do, including jet boating on Lake Tekapo, hiking Mount John, stargazing, and horseback riding. Find some inspiration here. The best part of the cliffs are accessed from the end of the main path, which heads steeply uphill without a set trail. Heading up is not too difficult, but be mindful that whatever you go up you have to get down, and it's definitely a lot harder on the way down. For that reason, having some change on you is a great idea, as there is no one there to give you change. The money from the payment goes towards maintaining the road that leads to the cliffs. This road is private and is graded and fixed by the farmer who owns the land. It's very much worth heading uphill, even just a little bit though, as that's when you feel like you're really inside a canyon with the huge walls towering over you. The first step to planning your New Zealand road trip is choosing your set of wheels. Most people rent a campervan or motorhome to get around, but you can also just rent a normal car and stay in hotels as opposed to camping. The side trail off the main path is on your right, less than a minute from the car park. This narrow trail only takes a few minutes and is very stable. It heads slightly uphill, but the terrain is pretty good and I didn't find it slippery at all. You must follow this road until you see a large sign pointing you to the Omarama clay cliffs.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon. It can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the turbulence and it's concerning. I've been searching for a purpose, I hope it's worth it. This society is really trying me. Ain't no hide and seek, I hide to be far from anxiety. I need my space, I need my privacy, I need some silence, please. You're all too loud, you don't speak quietly. Opinions violently thrown across every surface, it makes me nervous. Is the world honestly burning? That's all I'm learning. Hope that we can make a turn and start reversing. All our minds have put the work in, we got some work, man. I started to through. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Gotta get through this, life is a nuisance, tie up some loose ends. I try to be human, find a solution, my evolution. A place like this, it didn't exist, we made it like this. So you can go pick the bad or the good, got a glass halfway. I know, it's easier to hide than just to lay low. Not everyone in life has got a halo. I'm standing in the red inside a payphone, just wanna break, no.